Hello class. So this is the explanation for problem, I think it was 10 if I'm not mistaken, the one about the Koch curve. And this problem was about finding the perimeter. Let's write that down. Find the perimeter of the curve at level 20. At level 20. Okay, so let's see. How is this curve constructed? It's gonna start with a single, it's not showing very well. Well, it's just one segment, right? And this is the level 2. Let's make a stop right there. Okay, so you start, guys, with a segment like this. Okay, and I told you that this segment had a length of 1. The length of this initial segment at level 1 is 1. So we can do the following. Look, we can write this. Well, let's do this. I'm gonna write level 1, and here I'm gonna write number of segments, and then in here I'm gonna write length of segment, and in here I'm gonna write perimeter. You're gonna understand what I mean in a moment. So we have these 4 quantities. Level 1, how many segments do we have? Number of segments is 1. Also, what is the length of this segment? It's gonna be 1 because I told you this is 1 by definition, and so the perimeter of this is clearly 1. That's very simple to understand, right? Okay, now let's go to level 2. This is already level 2, and if you remember, I told you that the way to construct the second level out of this, which is the first level, is by cutting the segment into 3 equal parts. So this is equal to this, which is equal to this, and constructing an equilateral triangle on top of the segment in the middle, like so, more or less, and then getting rid of the base of this triangle. So you're gonna get, well, just imagine that this base is not there. I don't want to erase it. Just imagine that. Okay, so now the new curve for the level number 2 is this one, and I'm just gonna paint it in blue in here. This is this is how the curve looks on the second level. It's this. Okay, so at level 2, guys, how many segments do we have? What is the number of segments of the curve? It's gonna be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? That's how many segments you have. What is the length of each of these segments, though? What is the length of each of these? The length will be 1/3. Why is that? Well, because if all of this was originally 1 unit, then clearly each of these bits, each of these parts is gonna be 1/3. Okay, and since this is an equilateral triangle, that means that this segment and this segment also measure 1/3. So it's going to be 1/3 and 1/3, and we don't care about this because this is not part of the curve at level 2. It's only this, and this. So the length of the segment at level 2 is 1/3. I hope I have convinced you of that. And so basically, guys, what is the perimeter of the curve at level 2? The perimeter is simply how many segments you have times the length of each segment, right? So it's just gonna be 4 times 1/3. That's it. This is the perimeter at level 2. Now let's go one more, only one more, level 3. So how do we construct the curve for the level 3? Let me erase this. Just memorize that these segments measure 1/3. Okay, so we repeat the process, guys. With each new segment that you have at any particular point in the curve, so we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna repeat the process. You're gonna divide each of these segments into 3 equal parts. So this segment, I'm gonna divide it in 3, the same as this, the same as this, and the same as this. Okay, so and next you're gonna construct on top of the part in the middle, you're gonna construct an equilateral triangle. Okay, like so. There you go. And thus the new curve at level 3 is gonna look like this. It's gonna be this bit and this and this. I'm just gonna draw it. So this is the curve for the level 3, the blue curve. Okay, now how many number, well, what is going to be the number of segments that I have at level 3? It's going to be 16. Why 16, guys? Because previously we had 4 segments. You have to understand this. We came from 4 segments, and each of those segments was divided again into 4 parts. Look at this segment in the blue segment here. This was divided, or it was transformed into 4 segments now. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, this segment, the blue past segment, was transformed or gave rise to 4 new segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the same for this, and the same for this. So basically, guys, at every level, at every next level, you're gonna have 4 more times segments than before. So at level 3, you're gonna have this times 4, which is gonna be 16. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. Now, what is the length of each of these 16 segments? It's going to be the following. If you remember previously, this measured 1/3, the blue previous segment. Okay, now if I divide that segment into 3 parts, which is what we did, this is one part, this is the second part, and this is the third part. Each of these parts is gonna measure 1/3 over 3 clearly, and that's gonna be 1/9. So the length of each of these yellow segments, guys, is 1/9, which if you notice is just gonna be the previous length over 3, or times 1/3. Okay, times 1/3. Let me put that in another way. It's gonna be times 1/3. 1 times 1/3 is 1/3. 1/3 times 1/3 is gonna be 1/9. And in here we're multiplying by 4, right? That's it. And the perimeter, guys, for the third level is the number of segments, which is 16, times the length of each segment, which is 1/9. So this is the perimeter. There you have. Okay, guys, and so that's it, guys. That's the concept. At level 20, well, if you notice, what we have in here are two sequences separated. This is one sequence, this is another sequence. Both are geometric sequences. Let me write the characteristics of each in yellow. For this one, we have that u1 is 1 and that the ratio is 4. And for this one, we have u1 equals 1 and the ratio is 1/3. So what is this term? This is u1. What is this term? This is u2. What is this term? This is u3. And the same for this. Can you see? So at level 1, I'm sorry, at level 20, which is what we're looking for, at level 20, Basically, all you have to do is get the 20th term in this sequence and also in this other sequence, the 20th term, the 20th term in both. And so we can do that, right? I mean, U20 for this one is going to be U1 times the ratio raised to the n minus 1. So it's going to be 1 times 4 to the 19, which is just 4 to the 19. That's it, guys. This term in here is 4 to the 19. 4 to the 19. Okay? So 1, 4, 16, and so on. And for the 20th level, we have 4 to the 19. And the same idea here. I'm looking for the 20th term in this sequence. So I use my formulas. I'm going to do that in blue. U1 is 1. Well, I'm sorry. U20 will be the same, right? I'm just going to use this formula. What is the first term in this sequence? It's 1, and the ratio is 1/3 raised to the n minus 1, which is 20 minus 1, which is 19. And this is 1/3 to the 19. And that's U20. So the number that should be here for the 20th level will be 1/3 to the 19. And that's it, guys. We're done. The perimeter is just the multiplication of the number of segments times the length of each segment. So we get the solution, which can also be written like so: 4/3 to the 19. That's it, guys. Okay, so I hope you have understood this one, guys. Um, I wanted to take a lot of care into the explanation. I thought that was a very long explanation. Well, I don't know how. Okay, 12 minutes. Okay, guys, that's it. Good luck on Monday. See you later.